Why do you think the character Thor resonates so much with audiences around the world?
I think Thor resonates because Chris Hemsworth is just someone that you're interested in watching and seeing grow over the years. I mean, he's just so charismatic and such a good actor and such a good sense of humor too. Like you're just completely entertained all the time.
How is Thor Love and Thunder a love story as much as it is an action adventure? And why do you think Thor's relationship with Jane Foster means so much to audiences?
I think that Taika was able to create this very, very particular genre that was able to mix things that you never could imagine would mix, like this really wacky out there humor with really heartfelt emotional depth to, romance to action to even horror elements. And he just has a kind of imagination and sensibility that makes all of that work together. And it's amazing.
Describe how Jane Foster joins the ranks of the superheroes in Thor Love and Thunder.
Well, it's an amazing opportunity that I was given to have Jane become the mighty Thor and have this kind of combination between being human and being a superhero and how each influences the other.
What did you have to do to prepare to play Mighty Thor?
Of course, I read the comic books of the Mighty Thor and talked to Taika a lot about, how we might bring her to screen. And then it was really a process too of just being open to anything on set because Taika's so spontaneous and really likes to invent in the moment. And most of the time the script is just thrown away and you're just inventing as you go. And so a lot of it has to do with kind of just coming to work with a very open mentality and like not trying to control what you're doing and just be free to whatever happens.
Describe the relationship between Jane and Thor in this film. She brings newfound confidence to their exchanges, yes?
I think that, Jane has the perspective of, her own life challenges. And I think that, it gives her definitely a different way of interacting with Thor. And also, I think, reuniting after knowing someone 10 years ago and having had this history, we revisit those relationships in different ways when we have the perspective of time too.
Describe working with Chris Hemsworth and what he brings to Thor.
Chris is just so incredible because he's the hardest working person I've met, and he's so talented and he's so kind. He's just like always good to everyone, always so professional, so funny, and just like really it's remarkable when you see someone who is just a better version of who he already started as a great person and just has only become more so over the years, despite, the trappings of all the success he's had. It's only, only deepened his work and his personality.
What is it like working with director Taika Waititi?
Taika is so fun. He makes every moment like he's just committed to always being spontaneous, always creating a fun, creative environment. And it's just a completely different experience to be on his set. And he's also very kind. Like his humor is really extraordinary because it's never at anyone's expense, ever. And it's just creates a very safe environment to try anything, because like he's always like embracing.
Mighty Thor joins a group of female superheroes in the MCU alongside Tessa Thompson's King Valkyrie and many others. Can you talk about working with Tessa and how these characters are an important part of the MCU?
Well, Tessa's Valkyrie is probably my favorite of all the superheroes, and I wish I'm looking forward to her whole film. And it was extraordinary to get to work together because we had worked together on Annihilation right before she did Thor Ragnarok, and we stayed friends and like have done so much together personally, and then to come to set together and have a friend there already and have that rapport and have that familiarity was extraordinary. And then of course to work alongside her in her brilliance and her humor and her creativity was so fun. I mean, our scenes together are like my favorites in the film, and I feel like, you know, my love for her is you know, eternal.